for Disi's Double Ds, proudly brought to us by Red Bull and Cell C. And today I've decided to go to dreams and donations again. I didn't manage to feature one last week, so today on Disi's Double Ds I'm featuring one of the most beautiful and special organizations to date, the Lighthouse Baby Shelter. Over the last couple of months there's been a drastic increase in babies being abandoned and losing their lives, and it's so sad to see when you have organizations like the Lighthouse Baby Shelter who will willingly take in unwanted babies and look after them until they find a safe and happy home. Today we're joined in studio by Eleanor Dustin, who is the founder of the Lighthouse Baby Shelter, to find out more about this organization. Hi Eleanor, welcome to Gears on Balls Visual Radio.
Thank you very much for having me.
Starting off, could you tell us a bit more about the Lighthouse Baby Shelter?
The Lighthouse Baby Shelter was founded in 2008. I founded it. I just had a calling. I had a calling to do this. And we started off with 2 children, and we've now managed over the 5 years, we're in our 6th year now, to help 98 children. And we have managed in the last 3.5 years to place 78 children in adoptive homes.
Wow.
Which is just amazing. But the problem is still an ongoing problem. South Africa currently has nearly 4 million orphans, and children are being abandoned and abused on a daily basis. So we really, the stats are that by 2015, we will have 5.5 million orphans in this country.
Wow,
which is not good.
No, it isn't. How does it work? Do children, I know you have got a hole in the wall.
Yes.
Could you tell us a bit more about that first?
All right, we've based it on the concept of the door of hope. We've got a hole in our wall with a little box on the inside of the garden, whereby if the mothers don't want their children, instead of dumping them on pavements, it is very controversial, but instead of dumping them on the pavements, they can come and deposit their babies there anonymously, and we take care of the children. We have an alarm in there with a camera so that we can see when a baby is placed. It's not only an alarm, it's as well as we've got a camera.
Where is the hole in the wall? Where is it situated?
At 48 Drysdale Road in Sundowner, Randburg, at the Lighthouse.
Okay. There has been, as I said, the increase in infant deaths, babies dying because of being abandoned or left in felts. It's crazy to see when there are organizations like yourself out there who are willing to take the children in and actually look after them until they find a happy home. How do you go about finding them homes?
Generally, people come and they visit the children, and then they speak about it. It's word of mouth, and people want to adopt children. There's so many couples today that can't have children, and they are willing to take a child out of a shelter to adopt. Doesn't matter race, color. We've had a lot of interracial adoptions, and I'm happy to say that they're all local adoptions. So all the children are staying in South Africa.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Eleanor, is there an age limit? Do the children have to be under a certain age to go or to be accepted into the Lighthouse Baby Shelter? Is it aimed more at little babies?
No, not at all. We started off by taking in newborns because of the people dumping and the babies that were being dumped. So we started off 5 years ago taking in the smaller children, the newborns. But we've now become so well known with the different social welfare organizations that they are bringing us older children as well that have been abused and abandoned. So there's no real age. Our cutoff age, our oldest little girl is 8 years old. And then it becomes a challenge if we take older children because we don't have the facility or the space to house the older children. So we wouldn't take teenagers or any child. The children that are there and grow up there, that'll be fine. They will stay there. We'll make a plan. But there's no real as in terms of from newborn up until 5, 6 years old.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic what
Yeah.
you're doing. I'm sure you've seen many terrible cases of children coming in who have been abused or hurt. How do you change the life of a child that has been through something traumatic like they have?
Um, with a little bit of difficulty and a lot of help from God. I base my patience and my love. If it was for me, if I was doing it in my own strength, I wouldn't be able to do it. But we help the children by giving them a lot of love and attention and seeing them through their issues, as it were. I mean, we've had children, little girls that have been raped, and all you can do from our part is to just love them and listen to them. And the social workers then take them on for therapy and so on. But I must just tell you that the success rate that we've had in stabilizing and getting these children back to being children again is phenomenal. They all bounce back, and children are they all they want, they give you unconditional love, and all they want in return is love. So some of them are challenges, but we pray through it, and I always say love never fails, never ever fails, especially with children.
That's very true. I just,
Yes.
as you say, children, they're so innocent and lovely, and all they want is love
Yes.
from people around them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure you need help, whether it be through things purchased and sent to you and financially. Could you tell us what you do need, how people could maybe help you?
We always need donations of clothing and food. That's our daily needs on a daily basis and on a monthly basis. Then, looking further ahead, it's finances always, because our current running costs, and we have 11 staff members. Our current running costs are running at about 59,000 a month. And then we are looking to buy the property next door so that we can expand and have a little village, so that when the children that are with us growing up as they are, because there are some that are staying there, have been there for 4 or 5 years already, that have come in and they haven't been adopted, so they will then stay. We can house the bigger children next door and have a house mother. So our needs are great. We're growing at an alarming rate, and things are changing. And I just think, I wish I could do more for the children, because the law doesn't help that much. The system doesn't work quick enough for these children. And that is the whole problem. That's why there's so many orphans, because people want to adopt, but it takes almost a year for that child to actually move into their forever home. So I just say one child at a time, and we need that help and support from the community and from the public, because without that, we can't survive.
From an education side, do you... I mean, as when the children get older, they obviously need to start going to school and obviously build on their education. With the little ones, do you try and install the initial roots?
Yes, we do. We have a teacher that comes in once a week to teach the toddlers.
Cute.
And the other children from grade 0 upwards, they all go to school. We currently have, I think it's 9 children in school. The 8-year-old is going to grade 3 next year. So we give them a normal life. They have as normal a life as we can possibly give them. And schooling is vital. They need education, whether they're with me or whether they're in another home. They need the education. And every child has a right to education in this country. But education is so difficult to come by, because the government schools are full to capacity. So when you start registering, they're already full and you're on a waiting list. So we have 2 private schools that help us and give our children the education that they need, and I'm grateful to them.
That's absolutely fantastic. If people would like to donate money towards you to help you, where can they go to get your bank details?
They can go to the website. It's www.thelighthousebabyshelter.co.za. All our banking details are there. We are registered NPO. We're registered with SARS, so we can give them a tax exemption receipt for the big businesses, and we also BEE compliant.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I went out this morning. My two brothers, my boyfriend and I decided, I went onto your website last night, and it's just, I feature quite a few organizations, and this one just really touched my heart. I think it's because of all the terrible stories I've been reading lately.
Yes.
And what you're doing is just totally amazing. So I went onto your website, and I went and purchased a couple of things to give to you, just the necessities that you have listed on your website. So this afternoon, I'd like to know if I could pop past and actually come and visit the Lighthouse Baby Shelter.
With pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for chatting to me today, and I'll see you a little bit later.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Bye-bye.
Get that and your other favorite sound clips from bulls.co.za now.